Don't let it go, let it go. Don't let it slip away.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a story time? Question mark? I don't know. It's more just about my testimony, my experience moving to Dallas, Texas. I definitely went out on a whim and decided to move 1,600 miles away from my friends and my family to a city I had never visited. And I kind of just wanted to share my experience because it's more than just moving for a job offer. I definitely felt compelled and like it was God's meaning or God's intention for me to be there. So if you guys like stories like this or you want to know more, definitely go ahead and keep on watching, subscribe and like the video as well. That will help me a ton. So this goes back to high school. I always wanted to move to Texas. I had never been there until I was like 16, so I don't know where this notion that Texas was where I was supposed to be came from, but I knew that I wanted a fresh start. And so I graduated high school and I decided to go to college in California. So born and raised in California, but again, I always had this feeling that I needed to be in Texas. So senior year rolls around of college, fast forward, right? October of 2019. So it was the semester I'm supposed to graduate. I decided to graduate a semester early. So I was class of 2019 instead of class of 2020. And in October or November of that year, my dad and I flew out to Austin. And this was my first time ever in Austin. And when I tell you guys, I absolutely loved Austin. It was everything I had ever imagined. The people were really cool. UT is a beautiful campus, and I had thought about getting my MBA. So that was something I was pursuing. Just being there, I just felt so comfortable. And it reminded me a lot of my hometown, of my suburb in California. I didn't feel out of place. I didn't feel like Texas was like yeehaw Texas, like everybody talked about. Like it was really cool. And I saw myself living in Austin. So while I was down there on the trip, we stayed maybe 3 or 4 days. I had an apartment locator who was driving me around the city, showing me places right around the $1,300 to $1,400 range. And I was just blown away by what you can get in Texas for $1,300 versus what you can get in California, because mind you guys, I was living and going to school in the Bay Area. My rent on my 2-bedroom apartment was $2,200, and this was like a rundown apartment. It was so gross. It was ugly. I didn't even really have parking, so I was getting a lot of parking tickets. Like $2,200 to live in a cardboard box versus $1,300 to live in luxury. You can get luxury apartments, brand new construction. Some of them have like yoga instructors that come. There's dog walk parks, luxury pools, garages, like the whole 9 yards for $1,300 and $1,400. But I was just so taken away when I saw that. So my heart was set on Austin. I ended up flying back home and I started job hunting, right? I applied to every single job that I felt like I was capable of doing that kind of fell within my like experience, I'd say, or even what my degree was in. And I was getting no replies, or I was getting rejections, or the jobs that called me back started extremely, extremely low. Like I'm talking about like 30 and 40K. And I just didn't feel like that was enough to live the lifestyle I wanted to live or the lifestyle I'm accustomed to living. So I didn't give up, but I started to take an alternative approach. So I started looking for jobs that were with bigger companies. And so a lot of these large companies, if you guys didn't know, have development programs, whether this be for sales or, engineering or leadership, whatever it is, they have development programs where they intentionally seek out college graduates or soon to be college graduates to hire you full-time, benefits and all, to work for their company. And so I landed a job with a pretty large telecommunications company, and they were based out of Texas. And that was one of the things that I just felt like the stars were aligning. Like, no, it wasn't Austin, but it was Dallas. And I started to do research on Dallas. I was on YouTube searching up Dallas apartment tours, Dallas, Texas, learning all the spots and just a little bit more about the city. And I just felt like it was perfect. So in end of February of 2020, I packed up all my things and I drove from California to Dallas. And my dad did go with me, so shout out to Dad for being a roll dog. He definitely kept me company and helped me get settled. But as soon as I got there, it was just like an instant mood change. Like something about being in Texas, I just felt like I was doing the damn thing. Like I was accomplishing my goals, I was stepping out of my comfort zone, I was forcing myself to be an adult. And I always was independent, but knowing that your parents are an hour drive away or 30 minutes away, you just never feel like you're really on your own. At least I didn't feel that way until I was 1,600 miles, okay? And I saw my parents get right up on that flight to go back home, and that's when it kind of hit me. And I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not really a sap and I don't cry, but I cried when I dropped them off at the airport when they left me in Dallas, because I was just like, wait, this is for real. And then like an hour later, I snapped out of it, and you know, from there on, I really took in everything that Texas had to offer. I met some of the most incredible coworkers. They're so awesome. I ate some of the best food. Like if you're in Dallas, you need to go to Cooley's, you need to go to Good Luck Burger, you need to go to Paradise Cajun. Like there's so many amazing restaurants. There's so many great people. I think it fits both single people and families because you just have a lot of different areas you can live in, just a lot of different interests. And to kind of collect it all, I had always grown up as Christian, but I think as I got older, I kind of just naturally drifted away and became very self-serving. And when I got to Texas, it kind of snapped me into reality. Like, you need to be better than that. You need to do better. You need to grow up and understand that the world doesn't revolve around you. And being out on my own in Texas, I just felt like it was just a relief. Like I could start fresh. I was meeting all these new people. I was having so many new experiences. And so I always urge people, if you have some piece of you that's even interested in moving out of state or moving out of the city or moving across town, whatever it is, always pursue that because you never know where it may lead you to. And I feel like I have this new outlook on life. I don't know, I don't want to sound like I'm preaching, but I do feel like I became closer to my faith, and I feel like I'm more true to who I am because it forced me to step out of a comfort zone and really put all of my faith and all of my intention into God's hands. And I just have so many goals that I want to accomplish, and I just feel like if you have the opportunity to explore the world around you, go ahead and do it. It may not need to be anything crazy like moving 1,600 miles away from your family and friends, but it could just be little things, right? Going to school, you know, maybe across the state or across the town, moving out of your parents' house, getting a new job, buying a car, whatever those goals are for you, I challenge you to go ahead and take that leap of faith because you don't understand how rewarding it will be when you see yourself 6 months down the line doing everything you dreamed of. And I'd say personally for me, moving to Dallas isn't the end all be all. I see myself going even further. You know, I have an interest in living in Atlanta. Part of me wants to come back to California and live in LA. Part of me is like, maybe I should go to New York, or maybe I should go to Florida or Utah. Like I'm just looking into all different types of cities because I think when you stay stagnant, you almost shelter yourself and kind of put a stop on that growth. For me, at least, I know I'm stimulated by new environments. So knowing that I'm somewhere new, knowing that I kind of have to start from square one pushes me to be bigger and better. And so that is my story of why I moved to Dallas, my experience in Dallas. I can say if you are thinking about Texas and you're moving like I did from the West Coast, it is probably one of the best things you can do. I've loved it so far. I have no complaints, except the weather is a little crazy. She likes to do the most. She'll go from 90 to like storming and thunder. But other than that, housing is very affordable. The people are nice. The homes and apartments are beautiful. And I think you guys will have an amazing time. So thank you so much. If you stuck around to the end of this video, I appreciate you. Go ahead and leave a comment, subscribe, and like. That will help me out a ton. If you guys have any questions about moving out of state, about moving specifically to Dallas or to Texas in general, I am more than happy to answer your questions. Leave them down below or go ahead and hit me up on Instagram. That is the end of this video. Thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you later.